Welcome back to Charlie's Kitchen. How's everyone doing on this Monday afternoon? I'm so glad to have you back into Charlie's Kitchen with Chef Charlie. I hope you guys are doing wonderfully. And we're about to start on some chili, guys. If you haven't seen my post that I posted, which used to be the community tab, but now it's just the post tab. There I listed all of my ingredients except for two, and I'm gonna share that with you guys that's watching this video. The two ingredients that I forgot to post was my bay leaves that I need to put in my beans, right? The next thing is minced garlic. Minced garlic always has to go in those beans so you don't have that gassy effect, and I use enough of it, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and mix that on up in those pinto beans that, and those are the can. Now, normally when I do chili, I'll go ahead and use the bag pinto beans and cook it from top to bottom, right? And then go ahead. This is a way that you could do it to make it faster for you. If you want to use red beans, you want to use black beans. I've used black beans before. You know, black beans are rich in fiber and iron. So that's something to keep on your mind when you're cooking too. If you need a little bit more fiber, you need a little bit more iron, you could switch up your different beans, right? So now I'm about to put some garlic powder in here. And I was looking at my onion powder too, and you probably do the same thing in your kitchen. When you're cooking, you're like, oh, I need to go get some more of this. And my onion powder is getting low. So I will be making sure to get some more of that as well. So normally what I do is, even though these are canned beans, I like to get them as soft as possible, right? And so I let them cook on low for a little bit and cook with that garlic in there as well, so that that can infuse it, okay? Infuse my beans. I need that, okay? The next thing that I am going to do is add my can of diced tomatoes. Now this is going to give you the color you want, but it's also going to give you a little bit of chunkiness with those tomatoes. Now, depending if you're a tomato fan, you could just probably use the bell peppers that I'm going to add to this as well instead of the tomatoes, but I like the tomatoes in my chili, okay? So now this is a smaller can of the fire roasted diced tomatoes. So this can is 14.5 ounces. The bigger can I used was 28 ounces, okay? So that's the equivalent of 1 pound, 12 ounces is what it says on here. Net weight is 28 ounces, 1 pound, 12 ounces. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my fire roasted. As you can see, that has a color to it, and it has a good flavor as well. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, I used it on something else recently. I think it was when I made succotash. And I haven't did succotash on the channel. I did it on my Facebook group, but I haven't did it on the channel. And when I tell you, it was so good. Now, when I normally make succotash, I add corn. But because I'm allergic to corn, I had to omit it. But if you guys were to make it with the fire tomatoes, the fire roasted tomatoes with the corn, I know I'm going off in a rant, so forgive me. I just love cooking, and I love food, and I love to experiment all of that good stuff. It makes me get all of my juices flowing. if you were to say that. Okay, so let's go ahead and put some parsley in here, give it a little bit of color, and we're going to give that a stir. And if I could go ahead and mention, it is already smelling amazing in Charlie's Kitchen. Amazing. Doesn't that look good already? And we haven't even added the ground turkey to this. We haven't even added the onions yet. We haven't added the bell peppers. And it's smelling amazing. Yay me. So I've started on my ground turkey. I added a half of the onion to my ground turkey, and that's it thus far. So now I'm getting ready to put a little garlic salt, a little onion powder, and a little garlic powder. And since I'm using ground turkey doesn't have any grease in it. So you don't have to like drain it or pour it out or what have you, like you would with ground beef, just as a side note. So if you're using ground beef, you want to drain it before you add it to your chili beans, okay? Because it has a lot of oil in it. Unless you don't mind your chili beans being greasy, you need to do that, okay? And now I'm going to add some parsley. And I love parsley for the color. If I can also mention something else that maybe you can relate to, in opening those cans of the Sunvesta, what is it, pinto beans, and in opening the tomato cans, I think the only one that had the top that I like, or the lid that I like, is like this. So I made a vow to myself, I am never opening any more cans. If they don't have that kind of can top, I'm not getting it. And maybe you feel the same way, because it just saves you time with just being able to pop that open. So to all the companies out there, please make us some more can tops like this, because they're amazing. And that's what I'm looking for. So my ground turkey is about done. And so I believe I am ready to get it in my pot with my beans and go from there. I forgot to tell y'all something, so I had to bring you back. Anytime I make my meat or I make my chili in general, I always use one of my packets for my chili and my meat, and then I put it, once I have them both mixed together with the beans and the meat, I put the other packet, okay? So that's a little tip for you. So you just go ahead and mix that on up like so. And then get that in with your beans. And those onions are all softened up as well. You see, it almost looks like when you're making tacos, right? But we're going to go ahead and get that in with our beans. And you just use the juice from the turkey, and you're ready to go. And then after I finish stirring this around, I'm going to make sure to chop up my bell peppers and my onions. Now normally I would have already chopped this up, but I had work this morning, you know, my outside job, so I didn't get a chance to do that. So I literally came from work and started getting all my ingredients together, but I haven't finished the chopping process. And that's something else I'm gonna do to lessen my time, my cooking time, or I should say my prepping time, is to get me a chopper. Okay, I've been living in the Stone Ages for too long. And if you like that, girl, get you a chopper. Save yourself on your cooking time, your prepping time, all of that good stuff. So that's going to be the next thing I'm going to purchase for Charlie's Kitchen for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to my big pot over here on the other side of the stove, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, so as you can see, I've already added my meat to my beans mixture here. It's looking amazing already. My chili is. That is. Can you see that? Looks good, huh? Smells even better. So now I'm going to chop my bell pepper, and this is red bell pepper that I'm putting in. And I have my fire on low right now because I want this to simmer, because obviously I don't want the bell pepper to be completely hard or crunchy or what have you. I want it to soften up a bit. So now I'm going to use the yellow bell pepper, and I also have orange as well. Now you can use whatever color bell pepper you like. If you more like the green, and maybe you want to use the red and not so much the yellow or even the orange, you can change it up. That's the great thing about chili, right? Is that you could change up the ingredients, right? If you wanted to even add pinto beans and black beans together, you could do that. It's your business. And you can make it as hearty or as thick as you want. If you want it a little thicker than my chili, you could just add tomato paste, and that will thicken it up. I'm not doing that today. But pretty much every time I make chili, I change it up. I never do the chili exactly the same. I'll put something else in there to change up the flavors in some way. Let me know in the comments what you eat your chili with, because that's something else that I change up. Sometimes I do, well, I've done before, like ranch Doritos. I've done Fritos before. I've done fries even. But when I do chili without, when I do fries rather, I do the chili without the beans. Okay? I don't like beans on my fries. That's a no for me. But you might like that. And you know, so I change it up with what I might want to top it or put with it. Sometimes I do crackers. I've done cornbread muffins before with my chili as well. So just tell me in the comments what you like with your chili. And would this be a recipe that you would try in your kitchen? So you're going to just toss that all together. It's looking so good and smelling so good as well. So I think I'm going to put a little bit more orange in there. And a little bit more yellow. I want it a little bit more chunky. Okay. So my last thing to do is to add the next package of, and let me give this a taste first, because I want to make sure what our salt level is before I add this next chili packet. And I think I'm just going to add a half. You never want to over season your food, right? You always want to be cognizant of that when you're cooking for yourself and also when you're cooking for others. So I'm going to let all of that mirror together. I'm going to put my lid on top of my chili. And I have my fire on low. If you guys have any comments, if you have any questions, please put them in the comment section as well. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. It really does help the channel to grow. And so if you like the channel, you're going to want it to grow too. You're going to want to make sure that people are seeing all of this amazing food that they could do also in their kitchen. So I'll see you back in just a bit. Don't go nowhere. So I have been letting my chili cook so that the bell peppers can soften up for about 10 minutes now. So look at that. And when you put your lid on your pot, it really does help that process to cook even quicker. So another thing that I did too was I used the other half a packet because as everything went ahead and inculcated into each other, I just felt like it needed more seasoning, so I used the other half a pack. Okay, so total I used for this chili 2 packs. And now I could go ahead and take my bay leaves out, and I use 2 bay leaves, so I have one more in here to take out. But as you can see, my chili is chilling, and it smells amazing in here. There go the other bay leaf. So now I could take that out as well. I mean, it's totally up to you if you want to leave your bay leaves in or if you want to take them out. I prefer in the chili, so when I'm scooping it out for my family, I don't have to be worrying about that in the bowl. And the chili's done, so therefore I have nothing to worry about. Okay, so that is Chef Charlie's turkey chili, okay, with pinto beans, and it looks amazing. It smells amazing in Charlie's kitchen, and I hope you'll try this, and if you do, please let me know. I look at all the comments, and I'm just curious if you guys are going to try it or not. This is not just me creating these recipes and whatnot. You know, I want to engage with you guys as well. So, from my kitchen to yours, until next time, I'm going to say bye for now. Love you guys. Thank you for the support. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. And until next time. Bye-bye.